The room burst into laughter, but not the joyful kind. All eyes locked on her as a giant screen lit up, exposing photos of her scrubbing floors, bent over toilets. In that glittering ballroom, she was the joke. Cameras flashed. Whispers turned. Cruel. She wasn't a guest, they invited her to humiliate her. But she didn't flinch. She stepped forward, head high, defying every sneer. What happened next would shock everyone and flip the power dynamic on its head. This is the story of a woman who turned shame into fire. Welcome, story lovers. Where are you watching from? Comment your city. Marsha Williams wasn't just a cleaning lady, she was a force of nature. Every morning at 6 a.m., she tied her scarf, laced her worn shoes, and boarded the city bus with a smile that masked a lifetime of struggles. She worked 3 jobs, including cleaning luxury homes in an upscale neighborhood she'd never been invited into as a guest. Still, she carried herself with quiet pride, humming gospel tunes as she scrubbed spotless floors. Her dream of becoming a fashion designer lived folded in a sketchbook she hid under her bed because women like her didn't get invited to galas. Especially not by billionaires. So when she received a glittering invitation to a millionaire's high society party, it felt like a mistake, or worse, a setup. But something inside her said go. And that night, everything was about to change more than anyone could have imagined. Marsha stood outside the mansion's grand entrance,
clutching the gold-trimmed invitation with trembling fingers.
The valet barely looked at her, just smirked, and muttered, "Deliveries go around back." She showed him the invite. His eyebrows raised, but he waved her through with a scoff. Inside, the marble floors gleamed and chandeliers sparkled like stars. The crowd, dripping in designer gowns and tuxedos, turned as she entered, and then the laughter started. Low at first, then louder. Someone whispered, "Is this the entertainment?" Another said, "That's bold, coming dressed like that." But Marsha wasn't in uniform tonight. She wore a flowing red gown she'd sewn herself, bold jewelry, natural hair pinned high. She looked like royalty, and they couldn't stand it. The host, billionaire Grant Langford, stepped forward, eyes narrowing. "Ah, you came," he said, with a fake smile that couldn't hide the malice. Cameras flashed. She realized this was no honor, it was a cruel joke meant to shame her. But instead of leaving, she walked further in, head high, smile unshaken. The murmurs turned sharp. Who does she think she is? Someone hissed. Then a woman tripped a waiter carrying champagne right in front of Marsha. The glass shattered at her feet. Gasps followed. Eyes locked on her, waiting for her to flinch, to retreat. But Marsha didn't move. Not yet, not ever. Something bigger was coming, and they weren't ready. Wait a second. If you enjoy this story, please support us by clicking the like button. We'd also love to know. Comment below and tell us which city you're watching from. If you'd like to see as Marsha stood tall in the center of the ballroom, Grant tapped his champagne glass. "Let's raise a toast," he smirked, to unexpected guests. Laughter rippled through the room, mocking cruel. Then a massive screen lit up behind her. Photos of her cleaning toilets, mopping floors. Caught off guard, sweaty, exhausted, the crowd roared. It was all staged. Her life, her dignity turned into a punchline. She froze. For a moment, it felt like the floor would swallow her. But then she turned, stepped forward, and spoke into the stunned silence. "Yes, I scrub your floors. But tonight I walk on them like a queen." Silence, then gasps. The room shifted. Power changed hands. Dear audience, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to give it a like. It really helps. Marsha didn't just walk out that night, she walked into her power. A video of her speech went viral. Offers poured in from fashion houses that once ignored her. But more than fame, she sparked a conversation too loud to silence. Her story became a mirror reflecting how society masks cruelty behind smiles and how Black women are too often underestimated, mocked, and erased. But she turned humiliation into triumph, not just for herself, but for every woman told she's not enough. This wasn't just about a party. It was about reclaiming dignity where it was denied, about showing up unapologetically. So ask yourself, How many more Marcias will it take before respect is given without permission? Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our channel for more powerful stories and new videos.